Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Just to let you know, I've just literally got back through the door because I've been up that pub and bought some meat again. So I've got a week's worth of meat again. I think it was about 30 quid, £31.50. And everything that I've bought, well, there was some snacky stuff as well, but that's like Scotch eggs and other bits and pieces. But the meat, the sausages, the hamburgers, and all that, he said it's all fresh this morning. So I said, so it last a week. He went, yeah. I've just cooked some sausages. But anyway, I was going to slip out next door. I wondered if anyone could time me, right? I'll slip out my front door, go and order a pint of Guinness and come back and see how long it takes me. But I won't do that because I'm actually doing a live show. Real truth, please. Evening, Graham and everyone. Good evening, DD and everyone. Yeah, Jock the lad, Juicy and Lucy. Everyone's out there. Let me... Ooh. Hang on a minute. Oh. Let me get one of these out. I can't even straighten the colours out. Look. Yeah, so I just went up that pub and got my meat. And he remembered me. He said, how was your Philip steaks? I said, they was the nuts. I love them. He said, I haven't got another pair this week. I said, that's all right. He said, I've got one. I went, yeah, that's all right. He said, it might cause an argument. I said, well, have I got a split personality? He went up, fair enough. And that was it. And even if I did have an hour indoors, I would actually flip for it. I would flip for it. I'd be fair. I would go, bing. But it's lovely. Philip steak, fresh. Yeah, you need to be careful about what's going on out there. Right, the main thing is, can you all see and hear me? And hit the like button if you can. There's a few things I want to talk about tonight. Hopefully I'll cover it off. And I'm going to try and do it in... I'm going to also be setting up some other cameras in here. This laptop can take 4G easily. It can take 4 times 4G. And I'm going to see, because I've got another camera that does 4G, I've got another camera that does 4G. I might try and set it up to do it. And it just means you can read the stuff behind me on the shelf if you zoomed in. But just to make sure everyone's there. Right. Hit the like button. Crucially important. I know most of you was out last night, weren't you? You was out, weren't you? I know you was out. I can't pick this up. If I pick this up too far, it will go into camera shot. So I can't pick it up. I'll leave it where it is for now. But what makes it awkward is I'm always looking at that and not that. Whereas when the other place I had screens that was there, so it didn't look as bad. Because it looks like I'm looking down and the camera is slightly out, but I can't lower that camera. I've got to find another way. I did have another bit of kit here somewhere. I'll go and see if I can find it later. And I might be able to reset that camera so it's almost just pointing at me that way. And again, I've still got to sort out the table, which I haven't done yet. But I have been out on the malls and I have been getting out and doing different bits and pieces. And I have been doing quite a bit of reading and having conversations with different people. Don't forget, we have got another seminar coming up. Lee on Sea in Essex. That is on the 28th of September. It starts at 2 p.m. and I will be giving you the address as soon as he sends it to me. And then we need to get, hopefully, if David is watching, he will do me up another one. Let's see if he's come back to me yet with the full details and address. I think he's already sent it to me once. Oh, there it is. Right, it is Cafe Hogar Del Mar, Unit 4, Clements Arcade, 9-11 the Broadway, Leon C, Essex, SS9, 1PA. And just to make sure everyone knows what's going on, it's going to have no union flags there. Right. It's going to be 2 hours of a seminar, 2 hours of questions and answers, a break in between, and there is a bar right up till 12 that night. So if you want to stay and have a beer, etc., it is £10 a ticket, and then hopefully we'll get donations as well. Don't forget, all of this money gets re-put into this, right? I'm not driving around in a Rolls Royce. I've got a 25-year-old car. That's not my thing. My thing is to keep getting what we need to do. And just to make sure you understand this, like, so from some of the donations that come in, etc., these really old books on the Constitution of England, so the constitutional history of England, I mean, that one is somewhere, and I haven't got the third issue of that, I've got the other issue of it. But these are lovely little books where you can just sit there and read them. And again, they're leather bound, etc. They're just lovely. They are the books that A.V. Dicey read, right? So, and then there's other books like these two on here, right, which were written. Again, I've shown you it before on this particular one. Part 1, Volume 2, Law and Custom of the Constitution, right? And then when you read through the history of it, and then obviously, watch the spine on that one, it nearly split. You can see how old they are. These are really old books. This one, I think, is well in excess of 100 years old. Let me see how old that one was. 1907, that one is. But what you're doing is you're getting back to the real laws of England. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, one, because we've got this seminar coming up. And then at some stage in the future, if we can get enough donations coming in, I want to get some more banners made up. And then we'll go through a process. So, because I'm trying to educate people. So the purpose of the seminar is for you to understand you have a constitution. And then when you see it in writing in front of you, when you see it in these two books, right, which is the Halsbury Statutes of England, Volume 10, Constitutional Law, and when you see all these laws, and they say you haven't got a constitution, you say, why do we live in a constitutional monarchy then? You haven't got a written constitution, so why is it in these law books and why is it written down in law? That's Halsbury's Laws of England. This is important. I'm going to come to that in a couple of minutes, because one is common law and one is statute. The purpose of the seminars is to empower you to understand that you have a constitution, you have a Bill of Rights, and that it is the British that have put a British label on you to remove your English, Scottish, Irish and Welsh and Cornish rights. It is the British that have done that. All of the time you understand that's exactly what's going on, then and only then are you empowered to say you can't be doing what you're doing. Stop it, right? And the police constables who are acting without authority on many occasions, right? So there's a couple of things I want to show you tonight that are really important. Let me hit this and see if there's any messages coming in. I'm seeing a couple of messages come in, and I just want to make sure I've cleared them before I do anything else. And someone has just said there, they hate our flag because they can't defeat us. That's exactly right. So what do? And people need to understand, I just want to make sure everyone gets this, right? It's the English they fear. The British are the ones doing it. You need to bin the Jack and bring George back, right? Then we'll work on the Griffin, right? Stages at a time. So one massive stage in how we can take this country back is not an immediate void of the Acts of Union, although that does solve the problem immediately, but 100% voiding the British Nationality Act 1948 and 1981, right? That's the primary reason why you can't write English on any documents, any British documents. You are under occupation. And that's basically what happened. And again, I just want to make sure people are seeing this. I hit the wrong button there, so I don't want to go on that, but I do want to go on some of this stuff. Right, so hopefully I will be able to show you the profile on what I've put out today. Everyone should have seen this. If not, you're about to see it, right? So I'm going to go back into here, share this with you, and put that one there. Here's a biggie, right? So there's lots of bits of information on here everyone should see, right? So on here, let's see if I can raise this up. I'm not sure if I can, if you can see it on the screen. Elon Musk. Any government driving destruction of its own people is not legitimate. He has now started to repeat the words, and I'm hoping I've got this one right. The words, and again, this wonderful lady in Bedford gave me this book. I'm not sure if she wrote a little note in it. Yes, she has. Given with love to DD, otherwise known as Graham Moore. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you are doing to free we the people from the British cabal, taking back and restoring our nation's lands. It's imperative for our future generations. The Constitution is the solution to restore and take back our nations and restore the Constitution, rule of law and separation of powers. With love, tyrants out, otherwise known as beep, beep, beep. And there it is, right? So hopefully you're all seeing that on the screen. If not, I'll show it to you in a couple of minutes because it's important, right? Thomas Paine started and referenced a lot of things in Thetford in Norfolk, and so did Mr. You all remember Dad's Army, Captain Manwaring, and the Dad's Army, again filmed in Thetford. The point of that was actually Churchill's idea, was a home guard, and they armed lots and lots of people, and they had munitions because they literally said, we will fight them on the beaches and we will fight them on the hills, we will fight them in the villages, right? Again, I want everyone to understand how important it is for this generation to take back and give the eternal flame of freedom to the future generations. So I'm just showing you part of this. Any government driving destruction of its own people is not legitimate. Now, there is another one, which I'm about to show you, which is on the screen as we speak. Or it will be as soon as I show this tab instead, which is Elon Musk, whatever you want to call him. I would like to help fund legal actions against corrupt officials who aided and abetted the rape of Britain, per the official government inquiry. I would like to say to Elon Musk and to Rupert Lowe, the inquiry is fine to an extent, but it does not produce prison sentences. The Criminal Justice Act 1988, Section 134, torture, is exactly put in place for this type of crime. Section 6 is a mandatory, meaning no judicial discretion, life imprisonment. That means you will never get out, right? And it is recorded against you. So this is even for the mayors, the social services, the police constables, the police inspectors, the chief constables, all of and the members of parliament, the ministers, everyone who knew about this. That law is what's been put in place to tackle this type of tyranny, and it is tyranny, right? So what I'm going to do now is go back to Elon Musk, hit the thing, because there's a few things I want people to see. And what he has done, share this tab instead. So I'm sharing this tab. 85 cities in Britain where local authorities were complicit in the rape of children, right? That Elon Musk has pinned this to his 235 million followers on Twitter. What has he pinned? He has pinned Rupert Lowe MP. Our rape gang inquiry has today released research detailing 85 local authorities in which the gang-based sexual exploitation of children is taking place, or has historically done so. In this, one of the most comprehensive exposés of the rape gang, and he actually tells you that in all of these areas, you're talking about 35% of the UK, most, or the absolute majority, is in England, as you can see from this. I'm not sure if you can see my little arrow. Unfortunately, the reality is that Farage will do almost nothing to protect Britain. That is obvious. Existing law is clear. Anyone who was an accessory to aggravated rape or murder, especially of children, is guilty of serious crime and must either serve time in prison if a citizen or be deported if not. The government simply needs to enforce the law, right? Exactly. And what I've been telling people is that our constitution and our laws are not being enforced, right? So Rupert Lowe, Farage has just attacked me for backing mass deportations. Let me be clear about what happened. What he is referring to is my support for removing foreign dual nationals who are aware of their husband, brother. You don't have to explain yourself, Rupert. We know that Farage is Benedict Arnold, right? Anyone out there who's American listening to this, you will raise your eyebrows and say, what does he mean by that? I mean exactly what I say. Then there is Tommy Robinson, revolution is coming, nothing can stop it. The silent majority, right? So I just want to make sure we are the majority. It would like to help fund legal funds. There it is. And I just want to get to the major one. Again, this lovely Scottish girl defending her little sister. They've arrested her. Again, she's got the claim of right of the English Bill of Rights, which is the right to keep and bear arms for self-defence, right? All of this is current law. Now, what I want to do is click on this and show you what Elon sent out today, right? So Elon Musk has sent it out today. Everyone's heard me talk about colour revolution. Well, the British are the responsible for primary conspirators in Ukraine, primary conspirators in the attack on the United States of America and the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, right? You are seeing the British being taken down, right? And it's about time they were, because they have caused every single hotspot in the world is being created by the British and the British monarchy, right? So everyone should understand that. This is what Elon Musk sent out today, right? So you can bitch about Elon as much as you want. Anyone who supports my country, puts my flag out there, I'm absolutely with them. And there's lots of different bits and pieces out there. I just want to make sure everyone can see that. Let me click back into this for a second and hit this stop sharing. Right. Did everyone see and hear what was going on there? There's lots more going on. I'm now going to try and find something else for you, which I did earlier. Not sure if he's going to do that. There was another one. It's this one. I want to show you this. It's really important. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Touch wood. We're going to go to that now. This is Rupert Lowe. And again, don't forget that I am only about England, right? I'm not about anything else. Rupert Lowe, MP. I have taken a good look at the reformed deportation policy. It did not take long to read through the 3.5 pages. On the numbers, there is a serious lack of ambition. Farage pledged to deport just 600,000 illegal immigrants in his first term if he becomes Prime Minister. We have roughly 2 million illegal migrants from alien cultures roaming the streets of Britain. It will be far worse in 2029, I agree. The aim to deport 600,000 over one parliament in all likelihood addresses far less than half of the problem. It's simply not good enough. Now, I want you to listen carefully to what he says. Repeal the Human Rights Act and replace it with a British Bill of Rights is what Reform have just said, right? The British Bill of Rights will be the worst thing that you can ever do, right? And then he says, we do not need a new British Bill of Rights. My instinct is that our common law traditions and freedoms are enough, right? Do you all understand that? The problem we've got in the UK and in England in particular is that our constitution, our English Bill of Rights, the Act of Settlement, and that Parliament is and the judiciary are disregarding our constitution. We have a constitution. I've shown you the law books. And we need to have our constitution, which was exported to the United States of America, we need that enforced. We do not need a British Bill of Rights. Farage is doing exactly what happened in the European Union. The European Union sought to create, listen to what I'm saying. The European Union sought to create a constitution and impose it upon the people. Many people had referendums, except us. We fought back. In the end, we left the European Union in name only. Because the ruling class in the civil service, the ruling class in the judiciary, the ruling classes that are the lobbyists for Parliament, they are the people who betrayed us, the people, with the largest vote that ever took place in this country. I want you to understand that Reform UK and Advance UK are exactly the same. They are destroying and seek to destroy England. And what we must do as a people is rise up. Now, you rise up peacefully, but we have the right to full rebellion against tyranny that takes away our popular rights, our popular freedoms, our inherited rights from our ancestors. And that is what the English Constitution gave you, and that's why they stopped teaching you it, right? So he gets it. Rupert Lowe gets it. He's having discussions in the background with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is promoting the English flag. Bin the Jack, bring George back. That's exactly what you should be saying. And if anyone goes on the 13th of September, I want everyone to understand this. If Tommy Robinson talks about British, and Israel, then he isn't the man you think he is. Because there's only one group of people that understand that the economy of these islands, right, is English. We're not bitching about the other countries, but if they want to be socialist, let the borders go up and the people will decide behind their own borders, and England will rise like a phoenix from the ashes of socialism, communism, and fascism. Again, I want you to understand, these books are important legacies of England. Here is an important book, Halsby's Laws of England, the common law of England. And what I'm going to do now is go through some of these things, because I think you need to understand what the constitutional documents in our laws, right, under the common law tell you. Right of public meeting, right of association, right to protection of the law, the principles of natural justice, freedom from discrimination, right to strike, right to participate in government, whereas we're not because they're cheating at our elections, the right to privacy, social rights. All of these rights are here for everyone to understand, which we can go through. The right to property. You have the right sources of liberties, the right to personal liberty, the right to life. These are all common law. The right to property, again, freedom of expression, freedom of conscience. So you're being denied the right of prayer against our very rights and common law rights. Again, I just want to make sure you understand that paragraph, and again, we've got the different elements of sovereignty in here that tells us, let me go to paragraph 1310. Again, all of these books tell us exactly what should be going on and shouldn't be going on. So if Elon Musk and if Rupert Lowe are watching, I'm going to read out paragraph, the security in the civil service. Paragraph 1310, page 809, the Crown and the Executive. It is a breach of discipline, this is directly from the law books. It is a breach of discipline for civil servants not to obey those rules. In addition, civil servants may be subjected to a purge in inverted commas, procedure, and a positive vetting, inverted commas, procedure. The purge procedure is designed to prevent persons with communist or fascist associations being employed on work, the nature of which is vital to the security of the state. So once you understand that is all in these books, and that is what I'm expressing to you. Again, no one's ever written a book as a common lawyer, not someone who is associated with a bar, not someone who's associated with the solicitors, not someone who is associated with the Crown, a real common lawyer, right? A lawyer of the Court of Common Pleas, which is basically what I am. And then when you understand what the statutes, and yes, the statutes are law, as long as they abide by the Constitution. And again, what I'm going to do is just show you one of these elements. So the historic documents, petition of right, confirmation of liberties, liberties, charters and statutes confirmed, all in this book, right? So this book is literally, so we've got the Magna Carta of 1297, but I'm going to read you the last part of it, right? Know ye that we under unto the honour of Almighty God, and for the salvation of the souls and progenitors and successors kings of England, to the advancement of Holy Church and amendment of our realm, and mere and free will have given and granted to all bishops, abbots, priors, earls, barons, and to all free men of our realm, these liberties following, to be kept in our kingdom of England forever. Right? And then it goes through the confirmation of the liberties, chapter 9, goes through various elements. And again, chapter 29, imprisonment, etc., contrary to law. No free man shall be taken or imprisoned or be deceased of his freehold, or liberties or free customs, or be outlawed or exiled, or any otherwise destroyed, nor will we not pass upon him, nor condemn him, but by lawful judgment of his peers, or by the law of the land. And we will sell to no man. We will not deny or defer any man either justice or right. Right? That's definitely not happening in this country anymore. And again, there's many bits of this that are still there, still law. The whole of the Magna Carta is in effect still law. And again, I've read this out before. But we have got chapters 5 to 20, and then chapters of the 28th year of King Edward III. Very, very much everything's going on here. Henry, statute of the 7 years. Chapter 1, liberties, charters and statutes confirmed. Peace shall be kept and justice done. Peace shall be kept and justice done. Right? That's not happening in this country. Our children are being raped all over this country. And again, I just want to make sure everyone understands that when you go through this book and you go through these laws, they're all in there. Again, I'm just going to talk to you about this one, the subject's rights. So this is the Bill of Rights of 1688, right? It's in this book. It is constitutional law. And there's many things that people need to understand. But the disarming of Protestants was a pretty naughty one, because that's what and again, they've done it again. Right, so we have got subjects' arms, that subjects which are Protestants may have arms for their defence suitable for their conditions and as allowed by law. As allowed by law was a constitutional element because it was a pre-existing right. They have reaffirmed the right of an Englishman to carry arms for his defence, and that as allowed by law meant you can defend yourself in self-defence. And if you kill someone, as allowed by law, right? That's all fair. That's the way life is. It's the criminal that suffers, not the person who's not doing anything wrong. So as allowed by law means you can have a firearm, you can have a knife, you can have a sword, you can have a gun. But what you cannot do is use that offensively. Can't use it for armed robbery. You can't use it for poaching. That was a big thing at the time, poaching. You can't use it illegally. You can only use it for self-defence. Freedom of speech, excessive bail, juries, at the juries, right? So excessive bail not to be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted. Again, all of this is in there, and it's still law, right? And the reason it is still law is because they cannot alter the Bill of Rights, even though they did in 1868 and or was it 1857? 1857, I think it was, and in 1947, just after the Second World War, they are not allowed to touch that, and they did, and they done it by stealth. They didn't tell the people what they was doing. I believe there are some judges that knew what was going on, but couldn't speak out. Again, I just want to make sure that you understand from the Acts of Union, Article 4, Trade and Navigation and Other Rights, that all subjects of the United Kingdom of Great Britain shall, from and after the Union, have full freedom and intercourse of trade and navigation to and from any port or place within the said United Kingdom and the dominions and plantations thereunto belonging, and that there be a communication of all other rights, privileges, and advantages which do or may belong to the subjects of either kingdom, except where it is otherwise expressly agreed in these articles. So they are not allowed to go against any of the old rights, right? That was put in place by our Constitution. I'm just going to go and jump up and show you something. Just to make sure you're aware of this, right? And you need to be made aware of this. That is where America got that from, the Constitution of the United States, and that when you swear allegiance to the United States of America and become a United States citizen, they give you this booklet. It is your Constitution, right? We have a similar one produced by us. It's very simple. It tells you what your rights are, and it tells you, right? So I'm writing this book, and I will be doing this course. But it is not like anything anyone's ever seen before, because it comes from the perspective of a common lawyer and a lawyer of the common pleas, right? So not associated with the bar, not associated with the judiciary in any way, not associated with the Crown. It's directly from me to protect you against the power of the state and the tyranny of the state, right? So I want you to understand that that's all there. Getting on to a number of other things, and I'm going to see if I can bring it up on my screen as I speak to you. I'm not sure whether or not this would be there, but we'll have a look, right? There were a number of cases, and there's a particular case that I want to refer you to, and I'm hoping I've still got it up on my screen, but I haven't. There was a particular case, and I've been over this before, and I've used it for someone else, right? And that person got a not guilty. I'm going to share this with you now on the screen. There's a lot of people that seem to be getting, and they shouldn't be, seem to be getting bail conditions from the police that are unlawful. So there was a particular case, and there's 2 or 3 cases that I've brought up previously, and I'm pulling something together for people. Don't trust British solicitors, British lawyers, right? But there are certain things that you have to do. So don't just sit back waiting for the old bill, right? We need to challenge this head on, right? And especially anyone who is referenced as they need a press pass to be recognised as the press, right? That's called a monopoly. The monopoly is outlawed, and especially in relation to the press, that's ancient law, right? Freedom of the press is one of our rights, and any person can be a member of the press. You just need to tell people the truth. And it's just how happens that citizens journalists are now communicating that, right? They are communicating the truth. They're going along to these places and being arrested or being prosecuted and having bail conditions on them because they're building up an online presence, and the police are trying to shut that down. Now, if the police shut that down and are shutting that down, which they are in many cases, that goes back to another ancient law called restraint of trade, right? So all of these laws are still in existence. The last person who used restraint, a famous person, was Wayne Rooney, right? So don't think that anything except you ain't got the money to pay for the type of barristers that Wayne wrote. If you've got money, you get justice in this country now. That's why I don't charge for what I do, right? And it's why I'm skint. But there you go. That's just one of the lives of what we do. Right Honourable Lord Justice Bean and the Right Honourable Mr. Justice Warby. Now, Justice Bean and Mr. Warby was responsible for another judgment where they said it is not unlawful to tell a police officer to fuck off, right? Or indeed, as one person did, told them to fuck off and called them dickheads. When it turned out that they actually arrested someone under a Section 5, right, and then held him in custody for 3 days. You all know I'm talking about English Bulldog. And they had to cave the case in because the investigation did, it was a false arrest because Section 5 is summons only, right? Summons only. And summons only means they write out your details and send it off to you, or they write out a ticket there and then, and you're being summoned to a magistrate. Now, the importance of the case I've got in front of you is an important. This is again Catherine Elizabeth Scotto and Crown Prosecution Service approved judgment, right? So again, it was an appeal against the conviction of Kate Scotto, aged 39, on the 7th of February 2020, after a trial in the Magistrates' Court at St Albans. She was convicted by District Judge Margaret Dodd of one offence of improper use of public communications network, contrary to Section 1272C of the Communications Act 2003. This provides that a person commits an offence if, for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety to another, she persistently makes use of public electronic network. Miss Scotto now appeals by the way of case stated, right? Now, the case stated is what I do. But people must realise you can do a case stated before it even gets into the magistrates, but you've only got a set period of 8 days to get it in. Don't believe me, ask English Bulldog, right? And again, we won his case. I put in a claim, which was approved by the magistrates, of £1,800 for legal fees. The magistrate approved the costs, and the CPS and whoever in the background refused to pay me, right? So the work that I do, right, because everyone was saying to him, like his solicitor and all that was saying, plead guilty, plead guilty, plead guilty, and all that bollocks, right? And you've got real people that are working for you with the real law, by the way. But this appeal illustrates this. I'm trying to bring this up so everyone understands it, right? Paragraph, this is an important paragraph, and I want certain people out there should be listening to this, but I don't want to give too much of a clue away, right? This appeal illustrates the need for decision makers in the criminal justice system to have regard in cases where they arise to issues of freedom of speech. In that context, I add, by way of footnote, that when reading the judgment of Nitin J in Hayden versus Dickerson, another case, right, which Warby J has cited, I was surprised to read at paragraph 39 that the defendant, who, like Miss Scotto, had been arrested following a complaint made by a Miss Hayden, so the same person was making the same complaints about different people, was released on pre-charged bail. This is the important part. Was released on pre-charged bail, one condition of which was that she was not to post on social media anything relating to the claimant. Emphasis added, right? It will have to be decided in some other case whether a condition of this kind can be justified under Article 10 or Section 36 of the Bail Act 1976, right? Now, I went into a lot of detail on another show about this, and basically the police are abusing their powers. And no solicitor out there, no barrister out there, because you lot ain't got the money to do it, are challenging these people. So you need someone like me to put this case together and show you. Now, let me just make sure I show you something else. Again, this goes back to an old case that I did. In fact, I will put it up there so everyone can see it, right? But I'm going to show you. This is on actual on YouTube, right? Show this tab instead. Do you all remember when Tommy Robinson got nicked in London and they sprayed him with gas and done all sorts of things? He never done anything. He should have sued them, right? Okay, tonight's show is ad hoc. I was supposed to have Stuart Hill on, but I'll ask to rearrange it as it's gone pear-shaped my end. About Tommy. Tommy Robinson was, as far as I can see, unlawfully arrested. Hopefully, this is still working. I don't know what one we've got working on there at the moment. Let me just have a quick look. Is the screen working? Or has it gone off? Can you all see me or not see me? Let me have a look. Hopefully it's working. I don't know if the screen, so for some reason this has gone off. I don't know why though. Can you still see and hear me? Give me a 5x5 in the chat if you can see and hear me. I'm going to wear my flag when I go shopping in Leicester because I'm not nowhere to hang it. Right. Simon, blessings, greetings. Give me a 5x5 if you can see and hear me. For some reason, this has stopped working, so I might have to go back. Not sure why that's not working. Can you all see and hear me? Well, you may not be able to see me at the moment, but that's not really that relevant because I've got it up on the screen what I wanted to show you. Right, so Tommy Robinson was, as far as I can see, unlawfully arrested, unlawful force under Anti-Social Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act 2014. A Section 35 needs to be authorised prior to a Section 34 being issued. Right, it has to be authorised prior. In other words, a police officer can't just issue with it. In any event, he had reasonable excuse, being a journalist. They should also have regard for freedom of expression and freedom of assembly set out in Article 10 and 11 of the European Convention of Human Rights. I would lead with the English Bill of Rights and the English Common Law rights, and secondary, I would have them laws in there, right? Just in case you've got a dodgy judge. There are many other things, not least of which English Bill of Rights 1688, also a convention law. There was no injunction previous to that day, right? So it's really important. If there's no injunction, you're not breaching anything on that day. Therefore, there was no power of arrest, as it's a summons only, unless an injunction is in place. There was no injunction in place. So they unlawfully arrested Tommy Robinson. I put all this out, by the way, and he published it, then took it down, and then got a British barrister representing him, give him this lot, and the barrister got a chunk of money, and Silly Buck is just sitting there, and Tommy Robinson is sitting there laughing, right? They could only issue, and you're the ones paying for it, they could only issue a summons if he refused to leave without reasonable excuse. They could only arrest him if he unreasonably refused to give his name and address, bearing in mind they know who he is and where he lives. Refused to give his name and address for the summons. The organisers themselves, the police, say, did not want Tommy there. Secondly, reasonable excuse. Public Order Act 2024, Public General Acts 2023, Section 15, Part 1, Exercise of Police Powers. Listen to this. A constable may not exercise a police power for the sole purpose of preventing a person from observing or reporting on a protest. 2. A constable may not exercise a police power for the sole purpose of preventing a person from observing or reporting on the exercise of a police power in relation to A protest-related offence, B, a protest-related breach of an injunction, or C, activities related to a protest. This section does not affect the exercise of a constable or a police power for any purpose which may be exercised apart from this section. Section 4, in this section, injunction means an injunction granted by the High Court, the County Court, or a youth court. Police power means a power which is conferred on a constable by virtue of an enactment or rule of law. Protest-related breach in relation to an injunction means a breach which is directly related to a protest. protest-related offence means an offence which is directly related to a protest, right? Now, you can go and read it all. It's there, right? Thanks to Anon Biker for pointing this out, that relatively new legislation on journalists at protest. Was this stage managed? You decide, right? That's what I've put on there. So I just want everyone to understand that that information is out there, and I went through that. Let me go back to where I was and see if I can stop sharing. Right, it's probably going to go pear-shaped on me. I'm going to try and reboot as we talk. It's gone off. But it has, yet again. Let's have a look and see why it's doing it. I've got no idea why it's doing it. Not that one. Let's see if I can try and do it. Click it back onto that one. Right, I've come back onto here, right? So let me put these back on there. So I'll put that on there for a second so you can see my nice scruffy area. And I'll pull that back up. Right, do you all understand what I've just said to you? So for some reason that's not working. I don't know why. I'll unplug that again. It was working all right last night. But some reason they don't like it. Did you all understand what I said? It didn't really interfere with what I was trying to tell you. But people need to understand that you've got all of these rights and these laws that protect you, but the solicitors and barristers and the judges are not enforcing the Constitution, mainly because they was never trained in it, and they've been told, they've been misinstructed on many occasions. They have been misinstructed. So all I'm doing is telling you, literally, right, what the truth is and showing you. Right, so when you get particularly people going to protests at the moment who are acting as citizen journalists, you do not need a press card. I have got a press card, right? It was issued by the Workers of England Union as a journalist, right? I could reapply for it, but you don't need it. But they won't recognise it because they say it's not the people. That's creating a monopoly, and the state has created that monopoly, right? You do not need a card to be a journalist. You just say, I am a journalist. I earn my living partly from journalism, and for you to interfere with it is also offending against restraint of trade, right? So just make sure everyone gets that. Can see you now, DD. Right, that's it. Lowe Becker, lawyers are scum, especially bar members. No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I don't trust any barrister or any solicitor or any judge or anyone in a legal profession in this country. And by this country, I speak of England. Right, did you all understand what I was trying to say then? I am going to do a more in-depth one, and I'll be able to do more and more there. But basically, I'm getting over that Elon Musk is now massively promoting and saying he will pay for these prosecutions. If it goes along with the Criminal Justice Act 1988, Section 134, torture, private prosecution gets a knockback from the Attorney General, which technically is unlawful, right? And I can show them out, right? Then transfer it under universal jurisdiction to the United States of America, right? That's how it's done. Why is it done like that? Because they brought the Criminal Justice Act 1988, Section 134, torture, into domestic law because it was ratified by the British and the Americans, right? And under the American Constitution and under the ratified UNCAT, United Nations Convention Against Torture, they can hear it in the United States of America. So you have got a perfect situation where Elon Musk can finance this, right? I will show him the strategy. I will show him the law. I will show him the detailed research. You don't have to give me any credit whatsoever. I just want justice for the people who have been raped, and I want justice for England. That's it, right? And this is a perfect opportunity to do it. Will Rupert Lowe listen? I think he's started to get it, to be honest. But what can we do, apart from being a group of people that need to stand up for the common law of England, Housebury laws of England, and Halsbury Statutes of England, right? None of what I've told you is lies. It is all the truth. I'm here to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, right? That's it. Any questions from my wonderful audience? Because I might even try and slip in that booze, and I'll bet you any money you like it's shut. Right? I should have gone and got a pint of Guinness before I started the show. Next time I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a pint of Guinness and then I'll pick it up and show you. Right? It takes 3 minutes to get up there, but it will take them longer to pour the pint than it will for me to walk there and come back again. Audrey, oh great, Candy Gloss. Graham, Elon was telling Farage to post the English flag on X this morning. Was telling Farage this screenshot of WhatsApp. Say that again. Graham, Elon was telling Farage to post the English flag on X this morning. Screenshot of it is on your WhatsApp. Let me have a quick look. Who sent it to me? Someone sent me something. Oh, they started ringing the bells in the local church opposite where my sister's staying. I haven't got anything. I can't see anything where it says that. As Chris has contacted, has Chris contacted? I don't know who Chris is. Has Chris contacted you? Who is Chris? Jason Pearson. What exactly is the bar, Graham? Kelly, has Chris contacted you, Graham? Don't know what that means. Question. Graham Moore. Jason Peter Reardon. What exactly is the bar, Graham? It's what they basically take an oath to. Solicitors don't take an oath; they make a declaration. But barristers have an oath. But the oath is to the Crown. The oath is to the bar. It's not to the people. They can't be trusted. And by the way, it never used to be like that. I needed full details of Leah's seminar to put on the calendar of the website. Remind me again and I'll tell you everything I know so far, which I'll put it on there. Neil McDonald. And don't forget, we've got... So that seminar in Essex should be a good one. There's lots of people asking me to go to Essex and do a seminar. It's in a private bar. There's plenty of seating. There's free toilets. The bar's open until 12:30. It's on a Sunday, so everyone should just come in there and chill out. It's on the 28th of August. 28th of September. Hang on a minute. What date have I put that in for? Yeah, it is 28th of September. And the only thing that's awkward for me is I don't know what's going on with the case. Someone said they've sent me something. I don't know where it is. Nigel Farage. Oh, let me have a look. Right, so hopefully you can... I don't know if you're seeing me or not. I'm going to try now and put this back on there, right? This might go pear-shaped if I share stuff. Whatever it is, it don't like sharing, I don't think. Nigel Farage MP look at these scenes from yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Post the flag of England. Elon Musk is telling Nigel Farage to post the flag of England, and he has not done it, right? Elon Musk, Angie, start by reforming the Church of England. It's been compromised. Elon Musk says absolutely. Whoa, look at this, right? He's getting it. EB70, England awake. And then you've got everyone putting out there, sack the Jack, bring George back. We want our country back. Oh, hello, darling. I choose to identify as English. There is only one flag that represents freedom, and it's being crushed by the British who hate our freedoms. Jules Horton, you are fantastic with words, hun. David English, I need to speak to you, Mr. David English. I need a seminar thing done. I have Stockholm syndrome. Stephen Lancelot. And then we've got this one. There's all the English flags. There's another one. I love that. The flag of Texas. The flag of Scott. Manor Farm. You need to get everyone out there. Do not go to that public house. Completely do not go to that public house. Do not support that public house. Right. Leanne Dormer, time to save England. There you go. And Farage, called us all that lot, called us thugs, called us everything, and we're still here and we're still fighting. I'm certainly not a thug. I hope you all agree I'm not a thug. Audrey, Trump left ECHR problem with Europe. Let's have a look. Kelly, Juicy and Lucy. I'm sad I missed the weekend. I was out by all of the migrants. I don't know what that means. Good evening. Guna Mum, who I spoke to today and wished her happy birthday in person. At Rise above Kelly. Right. England flag. Nige, you chicken. Kelly, yes, gutted. What is going on here? DD, reference my text above. Lots of them, like Habib, aren't English, so support the Union for Power. One of their parents is Irish or foreign. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Guna Mum said earlier to me, the only reason people like Ben Habib and even Farage, technically, we could go back and say you're not English. You can't even be in Parliament. You can't have any position of authority. Police constables can't either. Now they've started to panic because it means that the councils, the councillors, the mayors, under our English constitution are not allowed to be there, right, if they're foreign or if they're not born of English parents. Candy for brilliant, isn't it, right? So everyone out there, we are starting to see some support from Elon Musk. And I'm hoping that Tommy Robinson's going to say, "Well, hang on a minute." You know what I mean? Let me see. I'd like to see if Elon Musk said to him, "Listen, there's 200 million here, but you can only talk with England. You can only have an English party, right? And there's one already set up." I even said to Tommy Robinson he could stand in Runcorn and Hillsby under the English Constitution Party whilst he was in prison. That's perfectly legal, right? Never took it up. Right? I offered the party free of charge, completely, right, lock, stock, and barrel, as a fully registered with the English Constitution as its manifesto, to Rupert Lowe. Right? Never come back to me or us, because you all sent him emails. That's it. I'm going to love and leave you. Good night. God bless. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution, and we are winning, and we will win. We will obviously do this peacefully, peaceful protest. Get your English St George's and Whiffen flags up all over England. Get your Scottish flags up all over Scotland. Your Welsh flags all over Wales. Get your Irish flags and your Northern Irish flags all over Ireland. Get your Cornish flags, really important. But don't forget our seminar, which is on the 28th of September in Leigh-on-Sea in Essex. And all you're going to see is English flags and the Essex flag, right? And it's going to be a 4-hour seminar. So 2 hours of the seminar, 2 hours of questions and answers, and then having beers. But the beers are more to empower you, right? So we'll have a chat about things. Sitting there trying to tell me your case for an hour as if you're having a private consultation, I can't do that, right? Because everyone just wants to sit there and have a drink and goes, "Listen, I'll get it." They can tell me what made them trigger to understand they was English and not British. All of them things are really positive. That's it. Good night. God bless, and I will see you all tomorrow night, and I'll see what I'm doing from there. Let's see where I'm going from here. I bet that pub shut. And